What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my wildly handsome co-host, John Luke. What's up, JL?
What up? Just you and me today, big boy.
Just the two of us boys in here doing
Just
boy
two
stuff.
Of us big boys.
Just
doing
drafting and drinking manly seltzers and hanging out and talking about football and chopping wood and
sort of filter tap water.
And grilled veggie burgers. Those are the manliest things I can think of. Chopping wood and a grilled veggie burger. Man, you're just seeping manliness right now.
I know.
We got Craig in the chat saying, hello, FYF fam.
Craig,
wish I was with y'all in Canton, but please don't expose yourself on stream today. I'll do my best.
No promises, Craig. No promises.
We've been dying to get kicked off Twitch, so that today may just be the day that we put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, if there was ever a stream where someone was going to expose themselves, it'd be a stream with just Simon and I, for sure.
Absolutely. Things get a little carried away. They go a little too far. If you snipe me on one more pick, let's stop right there. We got Scott in the chat saying, wish I was in Canton as well, but this is in some ways better than Canton.
In some ways, true.
In some ways, that is true.
That is a lie I will also tell myself.
Scott, feel better, my friend.
Thank you.
From Scott. And we've got a couple, as you noticed, it is just JL and I. The rest of the FYF crew is already out there in Canton. Josh and Joey right now, I think, are in the midst of a poker tournament, trying to bring home some. A what?
Is Joey in the poker tournament?
I believe Joey is in the poker tournament, but
he's going to lose all his money.
I have
no doubt in my mind he's going to lose every single
and his clothes. For some reason, like people are going to be throwing chips in, and then you're going to see Joey's like undershirt flying to the middle.
His entire luggage is gone for sure.
He's going to walk out with no money, no clothes, and just really sad after he gets out of there.
He's going to
in his hotel room as well. He'll probably throw into the pot so that he's just walking around Canton in his hat only the rest of the day.
Immediately,
I hope he's watching. We got Cole in here saying, cannot wait for my
Cole?
QB league drafts to start for some fresh air.
Amen.
Oh, yeah, the fresh air of a nice fantasy draft. And Mr. Scamber said it's SuperFlex Friday. Oh, we are so ready for SuperFlex Friday. It's a special mock draft episode. Albert, what's up? Welcome in. And we got Twin in here as well. Yo. And Scott just saying hello to Albert. Mr. Scammer said Domino's Pizza and calculators or something. I'm guessing those were his ads.
Pizza and calculators.
You know what? Of the shitty pizza places, like the national chain deliveries, I do think Domino's is the best. They used to be the worst, but they upped their game around when I was in high school, changed the crust formula, changed the sauce.
The garlic crust.
The garlic. Domino's is top tier of the shitty pizza places. So I will gladly have a Domino's pizza.
You and I are just usually on opposite sides of the spectrum, but we can agree on Domino's. Domino's is our middle ground. It's our neutral territory.
It's neutral. You can hardly go wrong. It's good enough. It's actually
Sweden.
I don't know. Switzerland is the
Switzerland. That's what I'm thinking of. Sweden is something else.
We got Alex in here says, I hear the expo is lame anyways. And he said, let me have this. Yeah. For Alex, JL, and Scott. Yeah, it is. It is so lame. It's totally terrible.
The lamest.
But Alex, hope you're feeling all right, man. Hope that your sickness isn't getting you down too hard. We'll miss you out there at the expo. Guys, like we mentioned today, JL and I are going to be doing a SuperFlex Redraft mock draft. We'll pull that draft board up and get started. I believe we have a couple spots left, right, JL?
Yeah, a couple, exactly.
So I'm going to throw that in the chat. There are 2 spots left in this draft. If you want them, first come, first serve. Come and grab them and draft along with us. It's going to be on Sleeper. The format for this draft is going to be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, and 1 super flex. We'll have 3 bench spots on top of that. Obviously, a truncated draft a little bit right there. But once this fills up, we will go ahead and get started. Before we do that, though, a couple reminders. Number one, make sure you message JL and tell him how handsome he is. Then
Please,
after you do that, after you go and just tell him some facts about the way he looks, come back over here and like this video. Then make sure you're subscribed to our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. We do this every freaking day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And subscribing is the easiest way to make sure you don't miss out on any of that. We're still waiting on 2 more spots to get full, but once those get filled up, we're ready to go. JL, do you have someone you think you're targeting here at the number 2 pick?
At the number 2, I mean, it's got to be SuperFlex. It's got to be Jalen or maybe Kyler. I don't know. I'm not usually drafting at the 2 spot, so this is honestly it's kind of new for me.
Yeah, in SuperFlex drafts, when you draft there, I feel like you're a little bit pigeonholed. Like I wouldn't fault you if you decided to take like a CMC or a JT or even a Justin Jefferson there, but it feels like the best move in those first 2 spots is to take Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, one of those guys that falls to you, and then build from there. But that first spot, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of flexibility in my mind. This draft is full up now. We got these last teams in here. Yeah, MCAT Game Overboard joining the game. Oh, man, I'm in between Scampers and Craig. I do not like this spot.
That sounds like a perfect spot. So you're drafting from the company account. So Front Yard FYF is you, right?
Front Yard FYF is me, and it's totally on purpose, not because I created the draft on the company account and then accidentally click join like I do about 50% of the time when creating these.
Definitely not that.
No, this one was on purpose. I'm going to go ahead and get this draft started, JL. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
You're up.
All right, Scott. Don't take Josh Allen because I don't know who I'm going to take then. Please don't do it. I'm begging.
And that generally works, right, JL? Ask your league mates not to draft the player.
No, damn
it. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah, SOB. I'm going to go. I don't want to take Jonathan Taylor.
Wait, what the heck?
What?
It logged me out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Hopefully.
You got a little bit of time before you pick.
Oh, we made it. We made it.
Oh, man. All right. I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert. I don't want to go with Justin Herbert. I don't usually draft Justin Herbert. I like him well enough, but I'm just not like that insanely hyped on Justin Herbert. But I'm gonna go with him this time. I'm gonna see how my team turns out. Maybe I can get a stack here. We'll see.
Is he your number 2 quarterback after Josh Allen?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. No temptation to take your second ranked quarterback there.
No, there was temptation for sure. I put Mahomes, Herbert, and Allen in a tier.
Yeah,
that for me is a tier, and then Kyler sort of topping the next tier, Kyler and Lamar Jackson. And so I could have gone Mahomes here. I typically will draft Mahomes over Herbert, but I want to see what this turns out like.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And my first tier is very similar to yours, but I actually put Lamar Jackson in that tier as well.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
So Lamar Jackson's up there in that tier with Kyler Murray starting the next tier that I've got Dak, Jalen, Russell Wilson, and Tom Brady in as well.
Speaking of Lamar, what do you make of the whole contract situation with him? I know that's like just oft talked about on the big boy media time on real TV and everything, but I'm kind of back and forth on it. What are your thoughts on that?
Let me make my pick. You tell me your thoughts while I decide who I'm going to pick, and then I'll tell you mine.
Pull the Simon there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think Lamar is the type of guy that he is going to do things a little differently. I think they're going to get a deal done. I think the Ravens are committed to sticking with him, and what is happening now is just part of the process. It's part of the back and forth, and it's going to get done. But me personally, I'm not too worried. As a Ravens fan, I'm not too worried. As a fantasy manager who has Lamar Jackson on his team, many teams, I'm not too worried either. If it's not the Ravens, some other team will be super hyped to get him, but that would be a epic mess up if they somehow fumbled Lamar here.
No, it's going to be the Ravens. I know we've seen some crazy players switching teams recently, but we haven't seen it with a young superstar quarterback without any sort of off the field issues with them switching
showing
teams.
Up to camp. He's not worried about it.
It would be preposterous of any organization to let go of a player like Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens are one of the better run organizations in the NFL. I trust them to get it done. I think they'll get it done. They're not the Browns letting Baker Mayfield walk after leading them to their first playoff victory in 20 years. And Lamar Jackson's better than Baker, and the Ravens are a better franchise than the Browns.
Yeah.
I'm not too
I think
worried
I just
about
drank
it.
old water. That's gross.
Old Greg. We had our
Greg.
first wide receiver come off the board in Cooper Kupp to Dame.
Kupp.
I was tempted by a couple different players at my pick, but I don't draft Kyler very often. And I think it's because I was a bit lower on him than I should have been earlier this offseason. I've recently moved him back up. Like I said, he's my 5th quarterback right there at the start of that 2nd tier. And with my 1st tier going off the board and I had the top of a tier sitting there waiting for me in a SuperFlex league, I decided to go for it. Decided to take that shot. I see Craig in here saying every weekday the schedule in the newsletter said no show next Monday. Yeah, well,
that's true.
Just like we're always here. You know what I mean? I say it every day in the show. Joined as always by JL and Josh.
Always.
But
hey, and maybe there will be a show Monday now that I'm here. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe JL just hops on and
maybe I want to do a mock draft
for an hour.
Oh, God.
I mean, mock drafts for an hour. Scott said he doesn't like being next to JL.
Most people don't, Scott. Most people don't.
Just in
but
general.
Don't worry, you'll get used to it. The smell goes away eventually.
Albert wants to know thoughts on Treylon Burks playing with the 2nd and 3rd string last night. Any thoughts, JL?
Not worried. Not worried at all.
No. I think I'm not worried. The only thing I would say is if you've been too low on Robert Woods, maybe fix it. I think he will be the one in that offense. I've been saying I think he's going to be the one in that offense. And maybe now his ADP will rise a couple rounds because where he's getting drafted is preposterous. He's going way too late.
Even if Treylon Burks is slowly immersed into the NFL, he's still an excellent wide receiver. We saw this team invest in him by trading away A.J. Brown right before drafting him. I'm not worried about Treylon Burks. It might be a slower start than what we're used to, but you got to remember most of these rookie wide receivers, even the ones that pop off in their rookie years, don't start week 1, by popping off. So, temper your expectations. He's still a rookie, but I'm not concerned. I'm still drafting him in redraft formats.
Yeah. I'm probably not drafting him in redraft formats where he's going right now. He goes just a little bit too high for my likings for what I expect him to do this season. He's like a 7th or 8th round pick, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm probably not drafting him there, but that's okay.
I'm still drafting him in redraft at a reasonable cost.
Let's see where he is. If I can find out right now in Sleeper in SuperFlex leagues, pick 97 divided by 12. So that's like in the middle of the 9th round is where he's going in SuperFlex.
I'm okay with him there. I'm totally okay with him in the 9th round. In SuperFlex.
This is tempting.
Yeah, it changed a little bit. Simon back on the clock. We got a run of running backs.
I know, and it's left some of my top tier quarterbacks or my 2nd tier quarterbacks available to me. And it's just a matter of which guy do I want. My rankings say to take Dak Prescott, but my heart says Russell Wilson. But I went with the brain here. We'll follow the heart later. I just disobeyed rule number 5.
With the brain, followed the heart.
Rule
number 5.
I just completely disobeyed rule number 5. But I was not expecting either of those quarterbacks to make it back to me there. That running back run made it pretty nice that I was able to grab Dak to go with Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Scott saying, Jay, I'll trade you Allen for Herbert. Let's do it. Let's make the deal. And he also asked, are you guys worried about Mark Andrews at all? I'm not worried about Mark Andrews. I do think that we need to temper our expectations a bit for Mark Andrews compared to last season. I mean, just the amount of red zone targets he was getting, the amount of targets he was getting was very high. Lamar is still going to be his quarterback, and Lamar likes throwing to Mark Andrews. At that open practice that Maria, Pat, and I went to a couple weeks ago, Mark Andrews is out there. Lamar was hitting him. So I think that's not.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's totally fine. It was like light hits, like just playful hits, just practice. But I'm not too concerned. I think Mark Andrews will likely finish as the tight end 1 or 2 this season. That's where I think him and Kelsey are going to be fighting back and forth to be.
I think
who's going to be number.
Only thing that could prevent that from happening, JL, is if George Kittle stays healthy all season.
Yeah,
which we haven't seen in a while. But a healthy George Kittle, if you told me all of these tight ends play 17 games, I think my money might be on George Kittle to be the highest scoring of the 3 if he could play all 3 or all 17 games. But I don't know. Again, I don't like to say players are injury prone, but George Kittle is one of the ones where he hasn't given us evidence to show that he can stay healthy for an entire season.
I do not love this spot right now. This feels very awkward.
Yeah, well, the guy you were just talking about sitting there.
I know, but I don't want to go QB tight end. I'm gonna zag a little bit here. I'm gonna go with my guy, Stephon Diggs.
Good pick. I like that there. We got Maria in here saying only pro of losing my smell to COVID is being able to be next to JL and be okay.
It's true.
Doesn't have to sniff you anymore. And Mr. Scammer says always the positives. Feel better, Maria. Yes, Maria. Please feel better. JL, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
How's your sniffer?
My sniffer is good. It's still functioning, unlike Maria.
Scott said, damn you, JL. I guess he wanted Stephon Diggs.
Diggs.
Settled for a Devontae Adams. Scott, foiled again. The only reason we do these is to make people feel bad when we snipe their picks. The entire purpose of mock draft Monday/Friday is to just bully others.
Yeah. Ooh, the double wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Adams.
I knew CeeDee Lamb wasn't going to make it back to me, but I was like hoping CeeDee Lamb made it back to me. Like I was sitting there thinking maybe.
Oh boy, do I want to do it? Do I want to do it?
Do it.
This is PPR, right?
This is PPR.
PPR. I said that funny. PPR.
PPR.
PPR. I'm gonna. I don't want to do this. Oh, I'm gonna get dragged for this. I'm gonna do it though. Saquon Barkley, welcome to my team.
I don't think you're gonna get dragged. There are two running backs on the board I think I would have taken ahead of him.
Javonte Williams and Alvin Kamara.
Not Javonte Williams. Have you been listening to a single thing I've said about Javonte Williams?
I'm going to be honest to you, Simon. I haven't listened to you since freshman year of college.
Okay, well, I've been entirely out on Javonte Williams at his ADP, but Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones are the two running backs I would take out of Saquon Barkley still on the board.
And Javonte Williams.
I'm going to fight you. There's just no way in hell in my mind that Javonte Williams returns on ADP with Melvin Gordon there. They even came out and said he's going to be on a pitch count, and I believe them because it works. It works for their offense.
Yeah. And Aaron Jones went right before you. Maybe shouldn't have mentioned it.
That's okay because I'll just take the other guy. I'll take Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. What are you thinking with this suspension stuff?
What it's looking like, and this is what I'm operating under the assumption of now, is that it's going to get pushed to next offseason, and he plays every game this year, barring injury.
Yeah.
So I have adjusted the way I'm drafting him. If he's there in the third, and sometimes you even see him in the fourth, like I'm taking him almost no matter what, because Alvin Kamara is a game changer. He's one of those running backs that just you can plug him in your lineup and not worry. Every time he touches the ball, it's exciting, and this offense will likely funnel through him. So if he's out there.
Touchdowns?
What'd you say?
Remember that time he got 6 touchdowns in one game?
Yeah, it was championship week. I was in 2 championships. I had him in both leagues, and I didn't even have to check the rest of the weekend. And that was like the first game of the week, if I remember correctly. Like he just dropped like 65 points, and I was like, well, we're good. Like everyone else could put up 3, and I would probably still win this matchup.
Yeah. That definitely won me some leagues. Scott say breaking news. FYF loves breaking people's hearts. Shouldn't be breaking news to you. Break people's hearts every day. Emily saying Burks got some long bombs looks, but didn't catch anything. Yes. That's what the preseason is all about. I do think that they'll probably try and get him more worked into that offense by the time the season comes. And I think we're going to see some really good plays from Treylon Burks, and it's going to make his value rise a ton in the beginning of the season. It's kind of like, we've seen this in the last couple of years, like Lamar Chase, the drops, Deontay Johnson, similar type of thing after his rookie year. A lot of people like to grab onto these, preseason headlines and try and extrapolate from them, but they're often wrong. We know that he's talented. We know he's going to be playing.
Just remember, they were so out on Laquan Treadwell during the preseason, and then look what he did. Yeah. It could be anything. No, but for real, the point you're making is 100% true, Joe. This isn't the true offense that we're seeing out there. This is it's a scrimmage. They're trying to get a better idea of how these players, and they are adjusting to the NFL. You said it already, but Jamar freaking Chase had trouble.
Jamar freaking Chase.
It's amazing how many people that's their middle name.
I know, right? Forgive Jonah here.
Cool.
Asking trade Debo and D-Hop for Jamar Chase, half PPR. Trade Debo and DeAndre Hopkins for Jamar Chase. I'm going to assume this is redraft, unless you tell me, Jonah, that this is dynasty. And in redraft, I wouldn't do that.
This is the worst day of my life.
I might do that. Oh gosh, that's hard, man. Debo could finish very close to Jamar Chase this year.
What do I do here, JL?
Follow your heart. Rule number 5, bro.
Okay. This player's lower than some other players in my rankings, but I've been rising on him.
For a second.
Jalen Waddle, welcome to the squad. My first wide receiver. Makes me a little uncomfortable.
Oh no.
Okay, now while you're thinking, I'll look at this. Trade Debo and D-Hop for Chase, half PPR.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that is tricky.
Don't do this to me, sleeper.
You know what? I think I'm taking Chase here, JL. Like,
are you?
I'm assuming this is Dynasty, but I think I'm taking Chase here.
I was assuming it was redraft.
If it's redraft, give me Debo and D-Hop. Know what I mean? The only benefit would be like maybe clearing up a roster spot by getting rid of D-Hop and not having to sit there holding his suspension.
Yeah, that's true.
But
shoot,
I
that
think
changes it for me. Give me Chase
in redraft.
In both.
I'm going Chase in Dynasty. Man, that's really close in redraft. Like really, really close in redraft.
Has Debo gone? Yeah, Debo went at the 312 here. And where did Jamar Chase go? 2 rounds ahead. So 2 rounds for DeAndre Hopkins? Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's Chase in both formats. It's Chase in both formats. Also, Mr. Scamper said, nope, Jones was locked in. It was not because I talked about him. We just got great minds think alike. I'm sharp like a cat.
Sharp like a cat. Meow.
Sharp like a cat. And Craig saying, Alvin. Oh, that was the worst Alvin I've ever
That was
done.
really bad.
That was like just like something happened to their dad. And he was like sad, but he still had to do the part.
Alvin.
Like it was just like he had a really rough day, but they had a recording session still that night. And he, Alvin.
Oh, boy.
Alvin. How many times can we say it?
3.
There we go. Mr. Scammer says, I'm out on Javonte, but at RB13, I'll take him. It's still a little bit too high for me. I get it.
Is
though.
it?
I get the league-winning upside that a player like Javonte has, right? Like, if he's going at RB13 and he does end up getting that full workload, something happens to Melvin Gordon, like, he's one of those guys that could be a top 3 running back if things go. But I don't expect that to happen. Melvin Gordon's still there, so, like, I'm just not taking that shot. Too high. He would need to be in, like, back-end like RB2 territory. Where do I have him ranked? People are about to get mad at me. I've got him at RB18 going into this year.
I think that's fair.
I don't think that's ridiculous. People act like it's insane, but that's around where he finished last year, and the situation's very similar.
Yeah. We got a question here. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Is that the one you're about to pull up? What rookie are y'all looking forward to playing tonight? You have any in mind, JL?
I mean, it's hard to know who is exactly going to play, but I would love to see Jameson Williams get some time. I'd love to see what that Lions offense looks like. Who else we got playing tonight?
Drake London. I want to see some Drake
London in the
and
chat.
Some Breece Hall as well. I want to see if Breece Hall gets some touches there with the Jets. It's the Jets offense as a whole that I'm interested to see a little bit. I know it's preseason, but I want to see a couple drives with their first team offense out there looking all right. Oh, do you need me to stop it, JL?
That's all right.
That's who you wanted anyways, right?
I like panic picked the first name I liked. So I'm cool with that.
3 running backs to start it off. This isn't weird. A super JL start.
No, it's not. I've been drafting real weird lately. I don't know what it is. I just want to be trying different things, you know?
So have I. My Polly's playoffs team is nothing like teams I usually draft. There's a couple guys on there, but like just as a whole, I've been getting some funky squads that I've been pulling together recently.
I think it's all this mock draft that we've been doing. I just feel like a little more comfortable, you know?
Playing around a little bit.
Yeah. These damn fruit flies harassing me again.
Here, my Polly's playoff draft jail started Kyler Murray, Stephon Diggs, Tua Tagovailoa, Alvin Kamara, then DJ Moore there.
Who's the first pick?
Round? Kyler Murray.
Like
I said, I've been then Diggs, Stephon Diggs, then Tua. Then Alvin Kamara fell to me in the 4th.
Oh,
and then DJ Moore in the 5th.
Oh, love
so
that.
So it's a very balanced approach. I got a running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 quarterbacks, and a super flex league, but it is not how my teams usually look.
It's a beauteous start.
And there goes DJ Moore to twin. That was my hopeful next pick. I didn't win the Baker to DJ hype.
You are?
Yeah, I'm buying in.
Oh, I think Baker's going to be fantastic there. I think that was a great move by the Panthers. You know, we talked a ton about it on the show that we all agree, you, me, and Josh, that Baker is an above average quarterback. It's about where it ends, though.
Yeah.
Sober Thoughts asking, do y'all mind if I ask a question? Of course. Throw it in the chat. That's what we're here for.
We freaking love questions.
We love it. Maybe too much. I don't know. Like I said, confession time. I don't have the time or desire to watch preseason football. I think that's totally fine. You're not going to get a ton of these preseason games. A lot of times what we're looking for is like these, like, who asked? I think it was Albert. What, looking at rookies, how rookies look on the field. But oftentimes you're not going to really get a great sense of how these teams are going to look until they're rolling out their starters. So I think it's totally fine if you want to spend time doing something else.
Calvin said it's called mock draft mush brain, and I have
mock draft mush brain.
Do too many mock drafts, and then all of a sudden it just kind of all like maybe what it is like I'm so comfortable just doing whatever in a mock draft now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, tell me my strategy, tell me what I got to do. I'll just play around.
I got it. I'll do it on the fly.
And I haven't quite switched the brain to like real draft yet. I'm not feeling the only draft so far this year I felt like that pressure of like a real draft from has been the Scott Fishbowl draft, and I think it's because there's so much like hype around it, right? Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every other draft I've done so far, my home leagues, other stuff, it's just been like just drafting and hanging. And
I rolled up to the Flex Leagues draft last Saturday. It's Jake Seeley's. He puts together like expert league drafts, and they stream it on Sirius XM. So we did that last week. Everybody's sitting there with like cheat sheets and all this prep. I just roll up with my phone, my laptop. I was barely doing any prep. That's what happens when you mock draft. You mock draft every week, and then you're good.
There's your prep. What else do you need?
No, nothing.
It's more fun. That was always my strategy with like presentations and stuff in high school as well. Like, I'll throw together the PowerPoint day before, day of, and just get up there. And I've practiced it 0 times. Like, don't know about the timing. We're just like, it has to be in a certain amount of time. We're just gonna wing it though. And sometimes usually
you don't want to overthink it.
Yeah. No. There was one time.
If there was a question, like, of course it wasn't like I was going completely blind. I could do some research on the fly and stuff like that, where you get into a point where you're like, oh, wow, I don't know who to take between these guys. And most of the times we've already seen it because we've been mock drafting all freaking off season.
Yeah. Joe, can I make a confession to you?
Please.
If you promise not to tell.
I want nothing more.
Promise not to tell Mr. Buckert, my high school physics teacher, my AP physics teacher. You promise?
I promise.
Well, this was in honors physics. We had a semester-long project, and it was the end of the semester. We had to sign up for presentation days, and I signed up for one of them. And morning of, I realized I had not yet done my semester-long project.
So you signed up for a time. You just
at the beginning of the semester, I signed up, and then morning I was like, "Oh shit!" So what I did was
that's what that sign-up sheet was.
I made a PowerPoint file, and then I corrupted the file, and then named it like semester-long project, virtual wind tunnel, and then brought it to school.
Wind tunnel.
Brought it to school, plugged it in, stood in front of the class, ready to present, and then was like, "Oh no, my file's corrupted. Like, can I go on a different day?"
Did it work?
100%. Just put me on a different presentation day. The following week, I got to go home, finish my project, and no one ever knew. It's such a sneaky mom.
Sneaky mom.
Mr. Buckert, if you're watching, I'm so sorry.
Busted.
Well,
I have bad news for you, Simon. I've been Mr. Buckert the whole time.
No! Oh, man, you were so much taller in high school, and you're pretty tall. But Buckert was a tall man.
Is it just because you were small?
No. Well, the first time I had him, I was small, but the second time I had him, I was big. I had him sophomore year when I was all of 5'2", like max. That was wearing my thick sneakers. And then I had him senior year whenever I had actually grown. Oh, Craig goes on auto draft and then takes the guy that I was going to pick here. That is just a punch in the stomach. It went on auto for a second. Ah, wow.
Darren Waller, and then Emily took Josh Jacobs right before you. You're getting targeted right now.
I know. I'm panicking. This guy fell another round. Is something going on with him that I wasn't aware of?
Who? DK
Metcalf.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like,
wow,
he's still
something?
Here. I just think no one's excited about his stuff.
I mean, but in the 6th round.
I mean, he still has Drew Lock or Geno Smith throwing to him, so.
But he's still DK Metcalf.
Yeah, but DK Metcalf's only good when he has the ball. He's not like useful if he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah, well, his upside is limited, but he's still DK Metcalf. He's still in an NFL offense. It's not like he's just running around trying to catch balls in random games.
True. that would be pretty interesting, though. I would pay to watch that.
If free agents were allowed to just like crash games,
just
like
go to
jump
any
in
game.
and like
not any team, they can just run around the field, no rules.
And Twin said DK is just disappointing year after year. That's why. Yeah, I get that. But at this point, I was willing to grab him. Man, maybe I should have taken Johnson over him. I do have Johnson ranked higher. Oh, well, we're going off script, baby.
Oh, Cortland Sutton was already drafted. So would you rather have Cortland Sutton or DK Metcalf?
Let me take a gander at my rankings because that's not a necessarily pretty easy one.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
And Cole's saying, not going to be fooled by Metcalf's ADP. Cole's like, nice try. Not this time, DK.
I have DK Metcalf ever so slightly ahead of Cortland Sutton. One spot ahead.
Whew, okay, it's an interesting spot I find myself in here soon after broke out picks.
I think that was honestly still a little bit too early for DK now that I'm looking at it. 20th wide receiver off the board. That's probably
wide receiver 20. Where do you have him ranked?
I have him ranked at wide receiver 22.
Wow, reach.
I know.
Wow.
I know. What's wrong with me?
Chris Godwin was a good pick. Chris Godwin was an excellent pick.
God, I feel like Twins wide receiver core is like what I wanted mine to be.
Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin. That's
nice. Drafting your first wide receiver in the 4th round, especially at the back of the 4th round. That's beautiful. I made the mistake taking Waddle over Pittman, I think. Come here now saying, oops, was playing FIFA. Well, welcome in. Come here now. Hope you won. And he said, pulled the Icons Legends George Best, though. I don't know what that means, but I am so happy for you. Mr. Scampers cracked me up yesterday when I posted the thing about rock climbing, and Scampers commented, just no idea what this means, but I'm really happy for you. I appreciated it. It could have been anything. And Scampers was just, without questions, was there to support me. Was like, I'm feeling this with you, man. Jail, where are you going? I bet you were going to go brown before Cal got brown.
I always go brown.
Cal, have you seen my new Broncos hat? It has that logo on it. I got a vintage Broncos hat with the logo that's your sleeper logo. It's packed right now. Is it? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's right here. Here, Cal.
Allen freaking Robinson.
You like him? I know Joey's high on him and Josh as well. Are you feeling good about him this season?
I am. Feeling good about him this season. Yeah, I think he'll be great in that offense.
Yep, I'm feeling the same way. I'm probably a little bit lower than you guys on him, but I just think that's because, like Joey specifically, I don't know exactly where you have him landed, or maybe a little bit higher than consensus. I'm around consensus on him, and I think consensus is fairly high on him for a wide receiver 2 on a new team.
Yeah.
Mr. Scammer says, tried to research it. Still don't know what it is, Simon. That's okay.
Tried to research it.
But he still supports me just continuously.
Watch
AJ
Dillon.
I almost went AJ Dillon instead of DK Metcalf.
I almost went AJ Dillon too.
I just decided I'm not liking this team so far, JL.
You're not?
It started out so hot. Those first 3 picks, I was like, oh, this is great. But I think part of my problem is I haven't drafted enough teams where I didn't have 2 wide receivers after the first 4 rounds. You know what I mean? Like usually I'm sitting there with at least 2 wide receivers after 4 rounds. And that's like my comfort spot drafting.
Justin Herbert, Justin Fields. All Justin.
Just don't call me Justin time for dinner.
Yeah.
Isn't that the phrase?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think something like that. Justin Fields, I like the value you got on Fields, Shale. That waiting on quarterback worked. I tried playing QB chicken in a mock I did with the Tripwire guys the other night, and it did not go well. All of a sudden, it was working perfectly, but I waited 1 round too long, and then all of a sudden, everyone started drafting a 3rd quarterback. Like, it was like, boom, boom, like, there goes Baker Mayfield. There goes Davis Mills. There goes Jared Goff. There goes Ryan Tannehill. And, like, I was just like, oh, no. And so we were sitting there with Daniel Jones as my QB2.
Daniel Jones.
It was him and Marcus Mariota were the only starting quarterbacks left at that point. And Milky Trubisky, of course.
Milky Trubisky, yeah, true American hero.
True American hero, Milky Trubisky.
And you were on deck, Simon. Mr. Scamper's speaking. Mr. Scamper said confession time. I did the same thing, but for my French final, except I just didn't have to do mine. Did you end up having to do your entire semester-long project, Simon? That like the following day?
I did. I built a wind tunnel and then used a fog machine and had a little Model F1 car and used a hair dryer with a fog machine to make smoke that I could blow over it. And then I did a little research project on like the aerodynamics of a Formula One vehicle.
Wow. And you couldn't have done that before?
I threw it together in a week. No, I could have done it before. I just did not allocate my time properly. Oh yeah, I was on. I know. Oh, there we go. Now I like my draft more after that pick. Juju Smith-Schuster.
I am drafting the Simon way.
Yeah, that is the Simon way, and I like it so far.
The Simon School of Drafting.
The Simon School of Drafting. The Simon School of Drafting. I am not drafting according to the Simon School of Drafting right now. This always happens though, Joe. When I don't take a wide receiver in those first 3 rounds, I feel like it's always just like my next 8 picks. Like I'm like wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. Like I just have to collect them all after that point.
Why do you like
Come Here Now? So is Come Here Now just trying to antagonize us?
I think so.
Coming in and saying University of South Carolina. That's okay.
Must be.
It's okay. We have some friends that go there. We're friendly towards them.
But we hate them.
They're just not always so friendly towards us.
Yeah.
That is the worst away game experience I've ever had in my entire life. Like comically so. Like the city was
not
just
a
like
pretty
this
place.
The city was an oven, a flat oven with no plants. Just like everywhere you walked, every building was boring.
Concrete.
Right. And then you walk 8 miles of concrete and you end up at this upside down cockroach where you're expected to go watch a football game. Like it's the ugliest stadium in college football.
In the South Carolina heat.
And then you get in there and like, God, people are spitting on you, cursing at you. Like I got spit on multiple times. There was a woman, this is not a made up story. My sister can corroborate, was smoking 2 cigarettes. And after Clemson scored, took them out of her mouth and spit on us from behind us. And then put her both back in her mouth in the stadium.
That's disgusting.
It was
assault, I think.
I will never go back to that stadium.
Did you spit back?
I did not spit back.
You just got spit on and you just took it?
Yeah, I didn't want to start something. I was
I would have started something with that lady.
No, because you know what? It was 4 Clemson fans, one of which was my sister, one of which was the girl I was dating at the time, and then an arena of angry, drunk South Carolina fans, just livid, pissed that they were losing. Like
they got to be used to it by now.
I'm brave, but not stupid. I know how to pick my fights.
I don't.
And Craig said, usually you have to pay extra to be spit
I know,
on.
usually.
I think maybe they just gave me a freebie with everything I'd had to put up with in Columbia so far that weekend. Now, on the flip side, though, Auburn, greatest away game experience I've ever been to. It was like a nice off. I think like both fan bases had like heard that the other one was known for being kind. And like it was like at Clemson where I feel like you walk around the tailgates and with our Clemson gear on, all of these Auburn people would be like, hey, welcome to Auburn. Like, come on over, have a biscuit. Like everyone was just inviting us to their tailgates. We got into the stadium. All the fans were asking us questions, welcoming us there. And then I didn't get the whole War Eagle thing prior to going to a game there. Like I didn't get it. They're the Tigers. What the hell is this eagle? It's so freaking cool when that eagle flies around the stadium and you're flying and it does a lap. It's so cool. I get it now. I get it. And Come Here Now wants to know, have I gone to Alabama? I have not. It's on my college football bucket list, but I have not been to a game at Alabama.
Heard it's fun.
We got to get back to Clemson this year, JL.
We do. We should pick a game.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So we'll stream from down there.
Craig.
LOL,
guys,
Craig.
We're not going to be charging extra at all in Canton to spit on you. So if you want that upgrade, just let us know.
Especially not me.
Yeah. Jail, you actually have to pay him not to spit on you.
If you don't want COVID. Then
Emily said, what about the Vols, though? Those tailgates hit different. Have you ever been there on a...
I have not.
I've been to the stadium, but not on a game day. Yeah, not on a game day. We were driving through, where is it? Knoxville, right? And I asked my parents if we could stop, and they just let me out. We were on the way to Ohio. And I said, can we stop? Like, I just want to see the stadium. And I did a lap around the stadium, tried to peek through the bars. It was a pretty sick stadium. It's huge.
Really?
It's massive.
Damn, I got to see it.
Absolutely massive.
It's Longhorns. It's another one I want to go to at some point.
Twin said, imagine going to a school with a football team not in the Pioneer League. The Pioneer League. Now we've narrowed down the number of schools that Twin could have gone to about.
What is in the Pioneer League?
I'm going to look up the schools in there.
Twins making us do homework. Oh, you're on the clock, by the way.
Ah!
No! 45
I've
seconds.
got 45 seconds. Oh, that's
Good,
so much time.
Don't take my guy, though. Don't do it.
I've been hearing really good things about Treylon Burks out of camp. I might have to take him here.
I give you no indication whether that's my guy or not. I refuse. Mr. Scamper said spit for immunity. Reminds me of the Office episode. Yep, that's what it's going to be like.
I took another wide receiver. I just love
Elijah Moore.
And I love Elijah Moore. I love Elijah Moore. I don't know if you've gone back and watched some of his film from this past year yet, Jail, but if you haven't, I guarantee you after doing so, you'll move him up like 3 or 4 spots in your rankings.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
God, he was so good when he was playing last year. Like, he looks special out there.
You know what I'm so mad that they got rid of? NFL Game Pass used to have a feature where you could search by player, and they would cut up all the plays that player played. And then they just suddenly got rid of it and said nothing about it. And I've missed it I think last season was the first season we didn't have it. God, that tool was so useful.
That was awesome. I see in here, Twin saying, I've already said it before. That's right. As soon as you said it, he went to Dayton. And I think I said this last time you told us that Dayton is like Dayton, a family Ohio? School. Yeah, it's like a family school for me. My grandfather went there. I've got like 4 uncles that went there. I've got like 3 or 4 cousins that are there. It is very much so like a family school for me. We pull for Dayton.
I remember reading all their brochures whenever I was looking at colleges.
Tim lived on the Dayton campus for a semester whenever he was on co-op.
I think I knew that. I think I did know that.
He lived in downtown Cincinnati once and then on Dayton's campus with Dayton students, I believe. So while he was on co-op in college.
Dayton students?
What?
He was dating students?
I mean, he was also a student.
That's true. Guess it's less weird.
That definitely is less weird whenever you're there. In Craig's jail, they still have Game Pass. They just cut off your access.
Oh, damn it. I still pay for Game Pass, but they just got rid of that feature. Now I just got to go and search for all those plays myself.
Is your guy gone, jail?
Oh, it's my turn. Yes. Freaking scampers, you little cat.
Kenneth Walker is my RB2 in Scott Fishbowl because some asshole, I was about to say something nicer, but then I decided against it, drafted Melvin Gordon 1 pick before me. God, I'll never forgive them. I almost quit right then and there.
This is perfect.
I was really hoping Zach Ertz would make it back. Everything's going wrong except for Juju and Elijah Moore. And Dak Prescott.
Scamper sent a GIF in the chat. Scamper sent a GIF in the chat, and it's a cat poking its head through a piece of toast.
Also, I get your joke now, JL. I said Dayton students, and you said he's dating students. Yeah. It took me. I was like, I didn't say that. I said he lived with them. Just way over my head.
Greg said he was dating students.
And Joe, you grabbed Treylon Burks, so you're not scared of no preseason bad camp reviews?
No, did we already talk about this?
Yeah, I'm just confirming. You just confirmed it with your pick right here.
Definitely not scared. Definitely not too scared.
Wait, can I tell you something funny that just what happened? One of my friends from back home messaged me this morning at like 7 a.m. and said, hey, guess what? And I responded, what? And this guy has red receipts on, so I knew he responded. Doesn't reply for like 4 hours. I respond again right before the stream, like, you're just going to tell me guess what and then leave me hanging? And he responded, well, my guy, the truth is I almost wished you a happy birthday. Then I remembered when your actual birthday was. So he was just going to not respond and try to like play it off.
Just seeing how you're doing.
Hey, guess what? Nothing. Crickets. I'm imagining if I didn't respond, he would have just waited till Sunday to then wish me a happy birthday.
I'm so mad I don't get to see you on your birthday.
Sucks.
COVID.
I know. I'm gonna change. When you turn 28 is when Dutch people hit their metamorphosis. I should morph and become about
We've been waiting
4 inches,
many
4
years
inches taller. I should enjoy raw fish more at that point and be able to make a rum von deine Stumpel.
Pardon me?
I'm not saying it again because I definitely mispronounced it. And if I remember correctly, we've had someone in the chat before that like has had traditional Dutch cooking, and I definitely just butchered the name. Was it Thomas? No, I think it was. I think it was Andrew Elmquist for some reason.
Really?
I don't know why, but that's the name that's coming to mind.
I don't know how to pronounce Thomas's last name. He's got one of those O's with a cross through it, though.
Okay, he's not Dutch. He's Danish.
I don't know. They're all the same.
No, they're not. That is so offensive.
I'm gonna be canceled for that.
Okay, they're
not all the same. I respect all of those.
We're gonna go Patterson. We're gonna go Patterson right here.
I just like making Simon get riled up. Riled up.
You spent a little too long in Clemson if you're saying riled up. Twins.
The thing that Clemson did give me is a very good Southern accent impersonation. I could just go slip right into it after I was living there for a while.
Oh, growing up in the South, but with a European father and a Midwest Northern mother, I didn't have any of that, but it's in there. And if I need to pull it out, I can pull it out just a little bit, like just that little bit of like Southern boy accent. It can come out.
Yeah.
I used to have a professor, Bill Reed. You were in the computer engineering department. Did you have Bill Reed?
Yes. We had him together. We had a different guy together. Yeah, we never got together. I did have Bill Reed at one point.
I would I just put on that little bit of a Southern draw. Just a little bit of that Southern draw.
You know what? He deserves it. I don't feel bad at all. Dogs the hell out of him. I don't care.
He was the professor at Clemson where he had to like you. He had to like you, and
what
then
if you
did good. If he's wild, how funny would it be if he was like really into fantasy football and just happened to be in here?
I can't wait.
He can't take my passing grades away now. Now, he had every reason not to like me. I think I told him I was very bad in his class. Like just the first day of his class, he tells us your final can replace your entire grade in the class. He goes, but if you try to not take any of my tests, not do any of the homework, not show up and just show up for the final, you will fail. That's a personal challenge. Know what I mean? Like he is challenging you. He's saying like, and so I did that and I failed. I did it again and I failed. I did it again and I failed. But that fourth time, I hadn't learned my lesson yet. I did it again and I got a C. No, I got a C and we got out of there, baby.
We totally doxed it. Look, we already got Cole saying Clemson is 100% the worst place. Twins saying, hey, I'm a computer engineering student. And
Clemson is the best place.
Come here now saying William J. Reed III.
That is him. And he's a tenured professor there, I believe. He's
we can't do anything to him.
No. He had every single reason to dislike me in his class, though. I was not a good student. But Cole, come on, man. 100% the worst place. At least give it
there
like 10%.
Way worse places. There's like Antarctica. Come on.
Yeah, pretty brutal. I've been watching a lot of Antarctica YouTube videos lately, and it's scary down there.
You can tell me you're going to take Antarctica over Clemson? Get out of here.
Joe, there's this guy who went on a voyage to Antarctica, and his ship got stuck in between two moving ice floes. They had no radio at the time. It was just smushed. And so then eventually they had to just abandon their ship and jump onto like glaciers and ice sheets because their ship was getting crushed by the ice. It got completely demolished. They're out there with no one to find them. So they hopped into their lifeboats, found like a floating island. Yeah, found this tiny island, 122 people. And then in a lifeboat, the captain and like 4 other guys sailed 8 days and 8 nights in a lifeboat in the ocean right next to Antarctica to get back to people to come save them. Like that's preposterous. They were so cold.
They were so dead.
And wet. Like they were wet the entire time because it was like,
how does that happen? It
was like a blizzard and it was raining and it was snowing. So they're just wet and cold, stranded on an island. What was his name? I can't remember his name.
I have no idea.
He's all over my YouTube. I'll just send you a link to my YouTube. Twin said Wright State is up there too. Is that the one in Detroit? No, that's in Ohio. Which one's the one? School? Yeah, it's Tim's school. Which one's the one in downtown Detroit? Because that one had a cool campus.
You think we know? We're just there.
No, Wayne State is the one I'm thinking of.
Wayne State.
It's almost like Wright State. Oh no, it's my turn. Oh, we got.
It is your turn.
Okay,
It just became your turn. And Cole said, I'm biased, a South Carolina fan and grad. That's fair. That's fair. You're allowed to believe that Clemson.
And we did just spend about 10 minutes just ripping into Columbia.
and Williams-Brice Stadium.
So 100% fair. You know what?
That's
I
fair,
will say, Colt, fair game to the South Carolina fans. Whenever they came to Clemson my sophomore year and they beat us for the 5th time in a row in our home stadium, the Carolina fans were rather jovial, but they ran around all night after the game downtown just saying high five to people. And you don't think about it whenever you're doing it that they're mocking you for winning 5 in a row. So they got me 4 or 5 times after the game. They got me pretty good.
4 or 5 times. You didn't learn?
I didn't learn. Well, because people were like, high five. And I'm like, high five. You know what I mean? After they lose, you're sad for like 30 minutes and then you're just drunk instead.
Oh my God. Coming out said I have his office phone now. Yeah, feel free to call Bill Reed. He's not the most delightful man to talk to.
I mean, I wouldn't call
Maybe,
him.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him. I think I dropped his class and
he'll probably just hang up on you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on the clock. I'm back on the clock. Back into football. Mock draft. Oh, where do I want to go here? Okay, I have 2 QBs, 3 wide receivers. I should probably go wide receiver here. And there's a few available. Christian Kirk, Tyler Lockett, Chase Claypool. I think I'm going to go with Christian Kirk here. Wide receiver 4 now. I'm cool with that.
You're cool with that? How are you feeling about Christian Kirk this year?
I think he'll do fine. I don't think that his contract lives up to what I'm expecting, but I'm also not expecting him to be. I'm expecting him to have more opportunities than he's had in Arizona. So, I do believe that the Jacksonville offense is going to take a step up this year. I think Doug Peterson is a good coach. Trevor Lawrence is fantastic talent, fantastic quarterback who's going to adjust. And we're going to start to see this team come together as they slowly start to patch their holes. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Back to me.
And they've had some addition by subtraction this offseason as well with Urban Meyer.
What does that mean?
Subtract Urban Meyer, your general team goes up.
Oh, I got it. Addition by subtraction. I'm going to use that now.
I like exposing you to new phrases because I feel like some of them
exposing.
I feel like some of them are like just really common phrases, and you're like, "Huh, interesting."
Very cool.
Did you come up with that?
You mind if I use that? Okay, Chase Claypool it is. I've been drafting a lot of Chase Claypool lately.
Why?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I think he'll be better than his ADP is like right now. 11th round for Chase Claypool. I think he'll be used more than a lot of the guys that are being drafted around here.
God, every time his name gets mentioned, it takes all my willpower not to make a top 3 wide receiver in the league joke. Like he just wrote those for everybody. Like, in the 11th round, like, man. And Twin said subdition by abstraction.
Subdition by abstraction.
Subdition. That sounds like such a real word.
I was gonna say that could totally be like a computer science word or like computer science term, this phrase here, and I wouldn't be surprised. Abstraction
There's a book called Subdition, Subtraction Made Easy. A new and improved method of subtracting by Leonard D. McGee.
Oh, Leonard D. McGee. What a freaking name. Oh,
Leonard D. McGee.
Leonard D. McGee. You just it was like kept getting better every time you kept saying it. Leonard D. McGee.
Renowned children's author and mathematician Leonard D.
Subdition,
McGee.
Leonard D. McGee.
I got to learn more about this guy. What led him to be the expert? Why is there a fox on the cover?
How did you get here? Tell me your story, Leonard. Craig saying backyard fantasy is also a worse place. Yeah, wouldn't go to that URL. Would not go to that URL. Maybe you should buy that just to clear up any mistakes later on. I was telling my dad this the other day, Simon. I think I told you this before. At some point, we're going to get big enough. We're going to build this brand big enough that we're going to start confusing people who are just looking to for landscaping tips for their front yard. Like they just want to have a dream front yard, and they're going to end up on our YouTube channel, and there's going to be a big mistake.
Well, there was a when we first started on YouTube, when you searched front yard fantasy, the first thing that came up was like this garden gnome shit, like where it was just like it was like a landscaping channel like focused on garden gnomes. Like it was all like, I don't know if it's because those are like fantasy creatures that they're like putting in the front yard, and they were like a specialty garden gnomes channel. But now that they're buried, we buried those garden gnomes.
Buried those results. They don't even exist.
Twitch is no way it's Leonard D. McGee. He's a legend in the basic math world.
Legend Leonard D. McGee.
Second graders
rock star.
Love Leonard D. McGee.
It's a math rock star.
They just, man, wouldn't that be cool if they were like math rock stars? Like just like not that cool. I take it back.
Not that cool. I just remembered it's math.
I was thinking about the concerts. That would not be funny. Just watch someone solve equations. Like
Cosine.
The concerts would be a lot like the lectures that I went to. In
yeah, they would just be lectures. Those were just basically small concerts.
It's just
intimate concerts.
Free class is what it is. You know what? I did pay a lot of money for those concerts.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Those math concerts were so expensive in college. Absolutely ridiculous.
Leonard D. McGee.
Come here now saying Isaac Newton lied. I'm sure at some point in his life he did, for sure.
Isaac Newton lied.
And Twin said, might as well jump on the opportunity and include a few landscapers on the squad.
Yeah, we'll just mix in some landscaping videos in the mix. That'd be pretty funny.
Honestly, my front yard is the opposite of a front yard fantasy. It is a front yard nightmare. It has been so hot. We destroyed every last living blade of grass in our yard. We're right next to a bus stop with a trash can, so garbage flows into it all the time. So it's just like this dirt and garbage pit that's like surrounding our house. And when it rains, it just becomes like this gross mud pit. The house, so cute. It's just so cute. But the yard, yeesh. Leanne and I were discussing yesterday what to do with it. And my plan was 3 months before selling the house, we just pay someone to make it green. And then we sell.
Yeah.
Like
just
why do we
chip in grass and then just sell it really quick?
Exactly. Like why would we do that now? Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. If we pay money to have our lawn redone now, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it again. And we're just going to have to pay for it again before we sell. I guess I should take a tight end, but I don't want any of these guys because they all suck ass.
Maria said 4 seasons landscaping situation. Yeah. We're going to accidentally get Rudy Giuliani on our show. Scott saying, are you guys going to start a pod on landscaping? Send Josh out to do remotes with landscaping companies? Absolutely. That's our master plan.
I think J-Wall will be the field reporter for landscaping.
Yeah.
I think you're right, JL. That's a perfect J-Wall role, our landscaping field reporter.
Yeah. He does that for money on the side.
Yeah. We just have to strap a GoPro to him. And then we're good.
Oh my God. There's so many good skit ideas that come to mind with that.
Speaking of strapping a GoPro, I still think we just got to strap a
Speaking of strapping a GoPro. I can't wait to hear what comes out of your mouth next.
Speaking of strapping a GoPro to something, what I was going to say was we got to strap one to Tim.
Yeah.
To Tim at the expo this year, just to see.
Please. I need to get my Tim cam.
We need a Tim cam. Honestly, we should probably just like live stream it the entire, like starting at 10 p.m. you get a Tim cam live stream on the front yard.
Tim cam live stream. That'd be
and how it will end is just face down in a bed.
Yeah,
it won't turn off.
Playing loudly.
Yeah, it'll be like Daft Punk blaring in the background, just face down on a bed, and the stream will go like that until Tim wakes up. Oh man, we did it. Timing, JL, 3 p.m. exactly Central Time. If you look at that,
it's like 20% football talk, 60% nonsense.
60% nonsense.
20%
Twin said
intro.
This was the funniest mock I've been in for sure. Well, they left JL and I here unsupervised.
Yeah,
just
to
do
Don't
whatever.
Blame us.
Yeah, blame Josh and Joey and Tim. They usually supervise us on Fridays. And Jay too. He's not here supervising. No guests to keep us honest. We were able to just go willy-nilly here today.
Be our ridiculous selves.
But everyone in the chat who drafted along with us today, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us.
So much fun.
We will be back on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game show fun. But before that, this Friday, if you're not sick of us yet, I won't be there. I'll be on an airplane. But JL is going to be hosting a game of Fantasy Fortune over on the FanDuel YouTube and Twitch channels for the Front Yard Fantasy Hour presented by FanDuel. That is at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
2 hours.
So make sure you go over there. 2 hours exactly. make sure you go over there and hang out with JL and some more of the FYF team playing some Fantasy Fortune later.
Woo-wee.
Any final things you got to say, JL?
I have nothing final to say.
If you had to strap a GoPro to anything, what would it be? That's the question
The sun.
Wow, that's a great answer. I can't even top that. That's it for us today, guys. We'll see you in a couple hours. Until then, adios, everyone.
Bye. We love you. Trading makes sense fun.